My name is Choen Lee, and I've been doing art for a pretty long time. My first published work was in the 90s, somewhere in the 90s, I can't remember which year, and it was a cartoon piece. And then after that, I went on to do something else, architecture, and then I quit that, went to photography. I was actually pretty successful in it, and my work actually won some awards in international conferences and shows and stuff like that. But I took some time off it because I got burnt out. So doing that photography actually got burnt out 3 times, I think. So yeah, it took always quite hard to come back. And the last time when I burnt out, I went on to build a house because I actually know how to do that. It was actually a house renovation, tore down most of it, and we did it. Spent a few years on that, most of my money as well. Luckily, I have another half. Otherwise, I don't think I could sustain it. But my savings was gone, and I thought, okay, time to go back to photography. I mean, people were begging me to come back, but the pandemic came, and then what happened after that is I lost the rest of it. So I had to sell my studio because of some other things that's nothing to do with me, but I had to sell it to cover for somebody else. And then just went on to draw again a lot because it's something that I've always been doing. I just kept drawing, and someone told me, why don't you try this thing called NFT? It's someone that remember from my past, and so I came in, had a look at it, and created my artworks here. The first thing I did was something called pop culture consumption because that is very much me. I'm very pop culture, very influenced by comic books, manga, cartoons, anime, movies, and stuff like that. So my work isn't so much steeped in the old traditions, even though I do have the foundation because of my architecture training. We have to learn all those things. So yeah, so today what you see is visually my art is very manga, very Asian line art, very comic book as well. And the thing is, unlike what Joe said, to me, storytelling is very important. Otherwise, to me, it's just mindless decoration. And there is art in that, but it's just like a creature without a conscience, without sentience, and that is a different thing altogether. Whereas if you have a story to tell with your work, it's got a lot more depth. It's got a lot more depth, and it would be more enduring. And even if you don't put let's say, a description to your art, and because it's really built around story, you can actually let other people view it, and they can build their own story around it. But because of it's got so much depth already, you can't go so far from it. It's just them adding extra layers because of their own different experience from yours. Because everyone's different, right? That's why we have different perceptions of things, different perspective of things. And so what happened is, I have to say, in the last year, it's been very interesting. My work has been invited to be shown around the world in different shows, and it's just I'm very grateful for that. And this year, earlier this year, I also sent something into the Florence Biennale because I was invited to participate in that so-called open call, but it wasn't actually open; it's an invited open call. But at the first stage, the gatekeeper rejected, saying that Florence isn't looking for the kind of work, not Asian line work, and I don't know, maybe the guy didn't also didn't didn't really want to see any work that's on the blockchain as well. But anyway, the portfolio was rejected, but I still found a way to send in, and I was expecting a rejection letter, but that didn't come. It didn't come. I forgot about it, and then last week, I think it was last week, the letter came announcing that my work was in the top 10 in the 10 finalists. So just don't give up if this one person tells you no and all that. No matter how influential and well respected the person is, because it's this one person. There are a lot of other people in the world who may or may not like it, your work, or have a different point of view about things. So yeah, so that's me. I do that kind of stuff. Okay, anyway, my artwork. I think the one you chose is from the current work that I am working on, and it's also the same portfolio that got into the Florence Biennale. And this particular one, like, follow, retweet, obey, is actually a continuation of it developed from a series called Late Night Twitter Spacing from the Other Side of the World. And that one is all about my experience in this Web3 as I slowly got my lifestyle changed. My experience of things changed, my perception of things really changed, because now my life revolves around Twitter, around Web3, and I don't know, it's this quite fucked up if you ask me. I'm sorry for the that word, but that's exactly what it is. And when this finished, and I thought, okay, that's it, I'm worn out. I can't draw any more things about not sleeping, about hallucination, about all that. It became about it got into that, the artwork that's in your gallery right now. And so from that, it spawned a whole new series about the nature of identity and reality. And I'm still working on it these days. It is ink on paper, and then I scanned it and had it finished in Photoshop. So I use a very low cost budget tablet. I think it was $20 in US dollars. And it's not very responsive. It's terrible. It takes me 3 or 4 times, even up to 10 times slower to draw than on paper. But if you do your work and finish it on digital, purely for digital, it looks cleaner, much cleaner. So I'm doing it like that these days. So yeah, so that's about it, I guess. Thank you very much.